I think we're having some technical difficulties. Maybe I'll continue. So we basically have three main projects. One in Thunder Bay, which is a processing facility site. It's the old pulp mill who's from around here that's been over 100 years and thing. It's very strategically located. And we've just completed a PEA, basically outlining the steps to build a lithium hydroxide processing facility. This is going to be one of a kind in Canada and potentially North America. There are no lithium hydroxide processing facility in the entire North America as we speak. So this could be very strategic for Canada and for the world. And because we're in Thunder Bay and the site is right here, we have Lake Superior access. So we see this as being very strategic for the town of Thunder Bay, for Canada, and for North America. Because as we move away from the east in terms of providing our own lithium hydroxide for electric vehicles, it's important that we control our own source. The world is moving in a different direction, and we need to take control of the next 10, 20 years. We need to understand the electric vehicle aspect in terms of producing lithium hydroxide. And we believe we have the most strategic spot to build the plant. So we've just completed our PEA. Based on the PEA, we plan to invest $1.4 billion to build a processing plant. It's going to generate hundreds of jobs, indirect jobs, going to be close to 1,000 jobs here. And very importantly, what we see, it could be transformational for Thunder Bay. The PEA is in public domain. We estimate a $4 billion NPV at 8% discount. And one of the key things is that we assume that we're going to be buying spod, which means that bottom line is we're going to try to control our own spod field through M&A. We're going to try through mergers and acquisition to basically acquire properties, mining properties, because we already have the processing site, to ensure we control the supply chain and ensure we have the source feed. The key thing here for us, it's based on our PEA, we plan to produce 30,000 tons of lithium hydroxide per year. However, we're already planning for the future, and we have expansion scenarios. So the expansion scenario, because of the size of the property is about 388 acres, we believe this is going to be critical for us. So I'm going to get back to the PowerPoint because I think we're on board. So we have Scott right here. Scott is our CEO. Scott comes with an entrepreneurial background and put 12 companies up and running, and basically has the skill set to turn companies around and add significant values to shareholders and stakeholders. And can you go back to the PE? And then our CFO comes with a mining background, and our president, he comes with a background with dealing with governments and First Nations affairs and stuff like that, because we treat this very seriously. Yeah, here. So this is the highlight of the PEA that came out with a 48% IRR, a $4.1 billion NPV at 8% discount, and 30 years life. But we believe this is just the beginning, because if we are the only lithium hydroxide processing facility here, obviously we believe that after a couple of years, the payback here is less than 3 years, we can do an expansion scenario. So where we are strategically is that we're going to have to advance this quickly and rapidly. So this is something we're going to be working very closely with Thunder Bay and the province and federal government to take this into a reality. Because this doesn't reflect only on Thunder Bay, this reflects on the entire North America. Next. So I guess you all know where this is located. This is the old pulp mill. It's about 388 acres, about 120 acres is on the water, and there's old port facilities there, CN rail, and there's some infrastructure there. So this is not the green field. So this is something that could potentially get into operation pretty quicker. Next. Click on this video. So this is a nice 3D video based on our PAO, what this can be for. Thank you. So you can see there clearly how transformational this can be for Thunder Bay. And this is just phase one approach. We have phase two and we have phase three that's not included in this video here. And another key thing to note, it's the property is so large and our plan is to get into operational in 2028. But in the interim, while our focus is on the mining and the lithium hydroxide plant, we see an opportunity to potentially build a solar farm here. And this can be the immediate future. So this is an avenue that we're exploring. We just came out with a press release yesterday in terms of, potentially generating solar panel here and solar power. And then, can we go to the next slide, please? So we touched on some of the infrastructure here. Could we continue? Next. So this is where we are. We've just completed a PEA. On the 3rd of September, we came out with a PEA. And our next steps is that we're going to start advancing to a feasibility study, which includes extensive consultations, extensive detailed study, geotechnical studies and stuff like that. We have guys on the ground who's doing environmental baseline studies. We're going to be lots of engagement with the First Nations to ensure that we all aligned and, they're aware of what's happening. And then, obviously we're going to have to do project financing for about approximately $1.4 billion to build this here. We are in consultation with provincial and federal government to fund this here because we recognize the need for this. In addition, we're talking to outside parties too, just to confirm that, we can have alternative backup plans for either options. Next. So this is the solar panel we were chatting about, and we're getting a lot of momentum on this, but our fundamental focus remains the lithium hydroxide plant, getting lithium hydroxide mines, spod mines, and basically integrating this into the processing facility. Next. Sure.
The solar panel field isn't just a make work project. We're actually trying to make use of land that we're not able to build structures on. We have close to 100 acres of landfill on site. So instead of just growing trees, we decided, look, let's plant solar panels, and hopefully we can become a net zero production facility. We'll be able to produce our own energy. We should be able to produce enough energy to fire up the converter for the whole year. So it's kind of an exciting kind of twist.
Yes, so if I see my time is running out, and that's the main thing. Our main focus is at Thunder Bay. We have an operation through a joint venture with Sibelco, which is a large European group out to Belgium. It's Separation Rapids in Kenora, just east of the Ontario-Manitoba border, and we have about 13 million tons of ore there, of resources. We've just completed some drilling, and they're the 60% joint venture partner, and we are 40% joint venture partner. And we're expecting an updated mineral resource and estimate anytime soon. So potentially this can be something as a source feed to the processing facility. And our last project, which I'll briefly touch on before my time runs out, we have a rare earth project in Northwest Territories. And at one time, the founder of the company, about 25 years ago, the market cap of the company was close to $1 billion based off this one project. This is a very strategic asset for the country and for North America. But as we all know that the rare earth space has been hit very hard. It's called Nachalacho. It's zirconium, and it's heavy earth and rare earth, light rare earth metals, and it has a lot of those in it. And we're going to be reactivating. There is a feasibility study that was done previously. We're going to be updating this here and basically try to extract some value out of this there. We are 100% owner. There's a little company that we have an agreement with to mine the first, the overburden area. So that's our key strategy on that one, to update the feasibility study and get it back on the market, trying to raise to see if we can advance this. And then the Separation Rapids, we're going to update our mineral resource estimate, and that's coming very shortly. And Thunder Bay is our key focus. And I see our timer is telling me our time is up. So I'm happy to answer any questions.